Honesty, passion, experience. It's Timberwolves Explosion, hosted on the Paladinolive Network. And now, your host, Paladino Joey. Hello again, Timberwolves fans. Are you ready for the explosion of Timberwolves basketball? I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Timberwolves Explosion is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps. I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to this show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today, as the Timberwolves had a fairly interesting week this past week. Some ups, some downs. Generally speaking, I'd say, well, I don't know. Heck, we only won one game, didn't we? What the heck? They played well in most of them, but only finished 1-3, despite the, it's a tough schedule. Yes, so that was the week. Ups and downs, sometimes ups outnumber the downs, but not this week, I guess, in a couple of ways. Obviously, some personal things. One thing is, that's something I won't get into. It's not necessary for the show. Another thing, absolutely, I would say is relevant to the show, because a man by the name of Reece Pedretti, who had been fighting pancreatic cancer. A great guy, absolutely great guy, great person. We had our ups and downs as well, just like any friendship. You can have your ups and downs. There was unfortunately a short time where it was a little while where we didn't talk a whole lot. Maybe he misunderstood some things about me or whatever, and I misunderstood some things in return. So things like that happen in life, but luckily that was fairly short-lived. From Bendigo, Australia, around the Brisbane area, Reece Pedretti. Reece Pedretti, also known as Pumpa. Remember, I always talk about him, Random Hoops. He has passed away of pancreatic cancer. So, obviously one of the saddest things you ever heard. It was months ago he talked about it, like that he had. He didn't say it was terminal or anything, but that it was very, very serious. Obviously, it was a private issue. That's why it was never, ever brought up on the show, like who it was. But that was the person I was talking about months ago, that they really, 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 really need your prayers. They're in dire need of prayers. But unfortunately, earlier this month, obviously during the hiatus here, the short hiatus for Timberwolves Explosion, Reece Pedretti passed away. So obviously one of the saddest things you could say. Without Reece Pedretti, so starting off with the basketball show, I don't know what it was. It just randomly... Or no, I think he messaged me out of nowhere on Twitter, just kind of saying, "Hey, how's it going? You know, like your show and stuff like that." And then I checked out his show and I was like, "Man, that was really fun." It was called That Basketball Show, Pumpa and Train. That's his cousin, Train. That's his nickname. Also, really nice guy, really, really cool guy. I haven't heard from him in a while, unfortunately. But that was Pumpa and Train, That Basketball Show. Great chemistry. They were funny. And Reece Pedretti also showing his talent with his music ability, playing the guitar and singing, made some funny songs, kind of like, I don't know, like just funny bits about the NBA, but also has the talent to sing, not to just mess around. Yeah, he was actually a good singer and good talent with the guitar and all of that. But again, like I was saying, see, he opened the door. He was like the doorway, like the gateway to Australia. Obviously, met other Australians along the way, even beforehand, like Nigel Southern, really nice guy as well. Really nice guy. So obviously, huge credit to Nigel Southern just being a cool part of the show in the early days. I don't know if I turned him off a bit. Maybe the show was too long or was too negative. I think that's what it was. Me and Marcus would kind of go on and complain about the team during the tough times, this and that. And I think Reece Pedretti, at times, it was like a little bit sick of the length of the show at times. Sometimes we would just go back and forth a little too much. So over the years, we got more and more organized. And then, unfortunately, I became solo as well, because Marcus just didn't add up to the schedule at times. That's just how it goes, But luckily, we're all still friends. But Reece Pedretti unfortunately lost. Again, opening the gateway to Australia, that led the way to the Courtside podcast, which again led to the friendship, a long, forever lasting friendship with Vince Germano. You hear his name all the time on this show. Hank McCoy, all of that was a nickname. Apparently he is Wayne Hunt. Obviously, so Reece Pedretti, again, opened the door to some wonderful friendships. And then a year later, so this was like 2012, right? And then 2013, New Zealand came in the picture. Tanae and Levi, oh, just amazing staples, pillars of the show. They came on their own, from what I remember correctly, about 2013. Can't believe it's been that long. It's been 12 years already, 13 years knowing Vince Germano and of course Reece Pedretti, Pumpa, who I'm opening the show talking about this because it's a big thing. It's a big thing. I mean, I can't just hop on Timberwolves Explosion and talk basketball when Reece Pedretti passes away. It is again, it's a very sad day, no doubt about it. So you know how family members can get on the Facebook page when something like this happens. So you go to the Reece Pedretti Facebook page, of course. You'll see this. It is with great sadness that we announce the death of our beautiful Reece on February 22nd, 2025. Reece was a devoted husband, a cherished father, and a loving and supportive stepfather. He was the heart and soul of our family, and we are absolutely devastated by his loss. We are deeply grateful to family and friends who have supported Reece and our family throughout his illness. Your kindness has meant the world to us during this incredibly difficult time, and we will be forever thankful. Please refer to Bendigo Funerals in the coming days for funeral arrangements. So Sean, Huey, Patty, Jasper, and Jude are signed there. One more. That's Sean Williams here saying, firstly, as a family, we would like to express our heartfelt thanks to the outpouring of condolences and kind words following the death of our beautiful Reece. We have been touched by so many messages offering support and asking how they can help. In light of this, and in lieu of flowers and gifts, we kindly ask that you consider making a donation to the tribute we have created in memory of Reece. We are deeply grateful for the exceptional care and support we received from Bendigo Health throughout Reece's illness, especially from the remarkable palliative care team. The empathy and kindness shown by these dedicated professionals during such an unimaginable time has meant the world to us. Their compassion helped us navigate the most challenging moments, and we will forever be thankful for their unwavering support. In memory of Reece, we invite you to consider donating to palliative care so that other families facing similar challenges can benefit from the same extraordinary care and support that hospice provides. The dedication of the palliative care team made a profound difference in Reece's final days, and we hope that others may experience the same comfort and dignity that we did. The Pedretti family. So, there's the link on there, on this page if you're interested. It is, again, a huge loss to Timberwolves Explosion and myself, Jojo, just the person, Joey Awajan. Reece Pedretti, I love you, shout out to you forever. Again, thank you for opening the door to such great friends and great friendships, and for being such a great friend as well, obviously. A big deal. He's a very big deal, and really appreciate you. You'll never be forgotten. I also put an immortal toast. I did an immortal toast. It's a beer to support lost loved ones. I was just saying, Pumpa, you are forever in my heart. This immortal toast is to you. This beer is to remember lost loved ones and your friends. Thank you so much for your friendship and for connecting me to some unbelievable people, namely Vince Germano, because that again opened the door. Just amazing people. I said, God bless you. A couple of responses. Vince again says, rest in peace, Pumps. We'll miss your random messages about footy, basketball, and life. There's a reply. Kaylin Woods with a few hearts, and thank you guys so much. So, thought I would open the show with that today, and now we are going to remember and pay our respects to Reece Pedretti with a moment of silence. God bless you, Reece Pedretti, and God bless you, Pedretti family. So now we will somehow transition to Timberwolves Explosion. Not easy, obviously not easy. Looks like, was it 4 games to review and 3 games to preview? Sometimes I get a little off kilter here. Yep, it's 4 and 4. Yep, it's a busy one, so I better get cracking here. Yep, wanted to give time to Reece Pedretti and pay my respects. I mean, how could I not? You know what I mean? Seriously. The Wolves had some tough losses this week. A lot less important than the loss that we were experienced with Reece Pedretti, unfortunately. But yes, sports nonetheless. Anthony Edwards, great game versus the Houston Rockets. Jalen Green also had 35 points. Anthony Edwards with 37. But the thing is, it took 32 attempts to get there, 13 of 32. That's kind of been the theme with Anthony Edwards of late. Just erratic shooting, kind of out of control. I don't know, 4 of 14 overall, 13 of 32 from the floor to get 37 points. That's just, I don't know, it kind of sucks. It's kind of crappy. Jalen Clark didn't attempt a single shot, but played good, strong defense, had 3 steals. Jalen Clark's presence definitely showed in this game. Terrence Shannon Jr. definitely showing what he can do this past week. He continues to get better and better and all of that. Again, coming back from the break, of course. You're seeing a lot more of Terrence Shannon Jr. and wondering why the heck he hasn't been in the lineup all year. But maybe he's just kind of been getting better and more acclimated to the NBA, the timing and all that behind the scenes. So it kind of is what it is. He's a late first-round pick. You can't expect necessarily plug-and-play. But, I don't know, he has a bit more plug-and-play than Rob Dillingham, apparently, as Dillingham's been struggling off and on this past week. Only 2 points in this game. No assists, only 8 minutes. Terrence Shannon Jr., 19 minutes. Luka Garza with 11 minutes off the bench. It was a back-and-forth kind of wild game. Naz Reid looked awesome, but he did get into foul trouble with 5 fouls. Naz Reid has really taken the step forward. Looks like a starting player in this league, a starting power forward or center in the NBA, be it with Rudy Gobert or playing as a starting center for the Wolves if the Wolves move on from Gobert. But I don't see that happening, not because I don't want it to happen, but, you know, salary and limitations and such, I think it is what it is. And, well, more and more reason to see why the Timberwolves traded Karl Anthony Towns because of the whole salary situation to begin with. Along with the hope that Donnie DiVincenzo could provide, again, what he eventually did provide. It took a little while for him to get acclimated to the Wolves. And then Julius Randle was, you know, obviously part of the deal, but potentially could be a salary dump as we head into the offseason to make the team more flexible going forward. Obviously, having to re-sign Naz Reid. He's going to be due a pretty good check, whether we like it or not. Jaden McDaniels had an awesome week again. We're seeing what Jaden McDaniels can do. Locally, Phil Mackey calls him Diet Kawhi Leonard. And yeah, I can see that. The Kawhi Leonard defense. But now we're seeing a little bit of that Kawhi Leonard offense. 21 points in this one. Sucked from the three-point line, and that's one of the reasons why the Wolves lost. 1 of 7. Again, the Wolves sucked from the three-point line except for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Without him going 4 of 5, the Timberwolves wouldn't even be at 29% from 3. It'd be like 20. Be awful. Terrence, no, yeah, he missed. Yep, the bench was over 4 from three-point range. So overall, a frustrating game. But Terrence Shannon Jr. definitely provides a spark plug at the very least. A plus 10 in a game which the Wolves lost by 6, 121 to 115. A game that just kind of, you know, there was a back and forth. You thought the Wolves had a shot at this, but ultimately just did not. Giving up 48 points in the first quarter was not a recipe for success long term. The Wolves would have a back-and-forth game with Oklahoma City as you go from Friday night to Sunday night versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. A very entertaining basketball game. The Wolves fell behind early, came back pretty quickly in the second quarter. Oklahoma City, another strong third quarter, and it was kind of a back-and-forth parallel battle in the fourth quarter, kind of a game of runs. This literally was a game of runs. OKC, the better team down the stretch, as frickin' stinking doggone Alex Caruso couldn't frickin' miss. What did he make? 3 threes in a row, and it was damn frustrating. 3 of 6. It felt like he was more like 9 of 10. That's what it felt like. But 3 of 6 from the floor, hitting all 3 of his last 3 shots. It was so annoying and frustrating down the stretch. Jalen Williams had his big moments. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander couldn't miss, it felt like, most of the game. 13 of 24, so he did miss, but not that much. Aaron Wiggins hit all 4 of his threes. Ugh. So that's why the Wolves lost. Just obviously, Oklahoma was hot, and the defense was not so great on the Timberwolves side. I mean, that's why the Wolves lost. It's that simple. Anthony Edwards, you know, LeBron James-ish kind of numbers, 29, 10, and 7. But then the 5 turnovers, that's when it's Anthony Edwards numbers. You get the turnovers and the poor shooting, 8 of 21. So you go from LeBron to Ant there pretty quickly. As much as I like Ant, it's just that's kind of what he's been of late. Naz Reid, 6 of 18. That doesn't help either. That's 33%. You know, I mean, they're both like in the 30s here. 30s. Come on, guys. Jalen Clark enters the starting lineup, 6 of 7 from the floor, 14 points, 4 freaking steals was a huge factor down the stretch. Jaden McDaniels, another solid 17-point game, providing great defense, 13 rebounds, but again, sucking from the three-point line. 1 of 6, just missing and missing and missing. Anthony Edwards, 4 of 13 from beyond the arc, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker providing 18 points off the bench, hitting half of his shots, including 4 of 7 from downtown. But OKC clutch down the stretch. This is in Target Center, by the way, and the Wolves lose to, well, what people would say is the better team. And then you get to go to Oklahoma the next day, Oklahoma City, land of tornadoes, well, partially, at least some really big, powerful ones anyway. And a game where the Wolves fell behind early, and boy, then they kind of hung in there a bit in the first quarter. It's like, yeah, they're only down by 4, whatever. And OKC took a commanding lead in the second quarter, and it got bigger into the third. The Wolves fall down by 25 points, and then have the fourth quarter of our lives, 41-19 to tie the sucker up. Felt like the Wolves could have won that game, but then they didn't, as they just were not clutch down the stretch. When again you thought they could win the game, you wish you could win the game, but it wasn't meant to be. You wish you could win the game in the regulation, but it wasn't meant to be. But thankfully, the Wolves carried the momentum into overtime and finished off the sucker on the road against the best in the West, as we hate to call them, but they are. Oklahoma City, this time around, missed a lot of shots down the stretch. In fact, they missed their last 4, I believe, or was it even more than that? But Aaron Wiggins, 1 of 6 from downtown. Alex Caruso, 1 of 4. Shai whatever his name, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, talk about efficient. I mean, the guy is insane. 20 field goal attempts, 39 points. I mean, it's just, what can you say? He makes his shots. Carson Wallace fouled out. Shai Gilgeous, SGA. Got 5 fouls. He ran into foul trouble. Again, and you can imagine the frustration watching their lead of 25 points evaporate in front of their home fans. It's pretty cool for us, though. Jaden McDaniels, one of his best games of the year, and we've been saying that a lot lately. Naz Reid didn't shoot well this week. 7 of 21 in this one. 22 points, but 7 of 21, but again, showing those great moments at times. I don't think Naz Reid's bringing home the lone wolf in this one. Jaden McDaniels, again, those 9 of 16. This time he said, screw it, I'm not even attempting 1-3. I'm sick of this 1 of 7, 1 of 6 bullcrap. Not 1 3-point attempted. Not one. Naz Reid took over that role, and so did Anthony Edwards. Now, Anthony Edwards drops down from 14 to 6 3-point attempts and was 1 of 6. Played minimal minutes in the fourth quarter and into OT, if you can believe it, but also had what looked like they were treating his calf a bit, so that can also contribute to poor shooting. It can. Believe me, it can. I played basketball, folks. There were times like, why can't I make a shot, and why am I not moving as like normal? Why do I feel weird? You wake up the next morning and your calf hurts like bloody hell, as they might say in Australia. So nice to see the 3 points dwindle down to 6, because he only made 1 anyway, doggone it. Instead of 1 of like 13, or 2 of 13. Oh, sorry, 2 of 13, right? I'm just kidding. That's what it feels like. Did pull down 13 rebounds and 8 assists. Again, Anthony Edwards limited minutes late in that fourth quarter, as people like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Terrence Shannon Jr. is a stud. 17 points off the bench there in almost 30 minutes, 29 minutes, playing an Anthony Edwards role, basically. Rob Dillingham was benched earlier in the week and got in kind of a, I don't know if it was kind of like a bleep you battle with Chris Finch. Chris Finch, he's kind of like Flip Saunders a bit with Bobby Jackson and Chauncey Billups at times when he was with the Wolves. But Bobby Jackson especially, like, come on, damn it. But hopefully it doesn't get as negative as that one, because Bobby Jackson and Flip Saunders, they didn't get along in the end. They didn't. You notice how Bobby Jackson was on the coaching staff with Mr. What was his name? Rick Adelman years ago. And then Flip came in, was going to take over as the coach the next year as Adelman stepped away. And a decent amount of the coaches stuck around. Not all of them, but a decent amount of them, including Adelman's son, stuck around for the time being. And who wasn't there? Bobby Jackson, just boop, out of here. I'm not working with him. And yeah, you could see the chemistry was not good with Flip and Bobby. In the short time Bobby Jackson was with the Timberwolves many years ago, he even after he hit a big shot, he flexed at Flip Saunders, and he said in the newspaper, "I can't stand that organization." So that happened. That was way back in the day, Bobby with the Sacramento Kings, but his career definitely took a turn for the better with Sacramento and Rick Adelman. So interesting how things happen. So sorry, I'm just that just kind of brought back memories. I just hope things don't get ugly between Rob Dillingham and Chris Finch, where it seems like the opposite with Terrence Shannon Jr. Like, yeah, keep it up, buddy. You're kicking ass. 17 points and 10 rebounds for Terrence Shannon Jr., including 2 blocks. You'll notice Anthony Edwards also had a block because he re-entered the game into that overtime period. It was a back-and-forth seesaw battle in overtime. It really was. And then Terrence Shannon, SGA, not Terrence Shannon Jr., SGA is driving to the basket to try to win the thing. 1-point game. And Anthony Edwards skies up just like he did against the Indiana Pacers last year and has the block of the year so far, at least in the Timberwolves world, but maybe one of the absolute plays of the entire season. Looked like he was about, 5 feet off the ground. I mean, it was nuts. I don't know if he was quite that high, but 4 or 5 feet off the ground, just floating on air, Anthony Edwards, and knocked the ball away. No foul, of course, because it wasn't. Spectacular block. I'm sure SGA wasn't expecting that, and it did happen. The Wolves recover. I believe Nickeil Alexander-Walker sank the 2 free throws to make it a 3-point victory, officially, for your Minnesota Timberwolves. SGA attempted one last gap three-pointer, missed. The ball bounced off the rim, and then he just said, screw it, and then just shot at our basket because the clock had already expired anyway. And the Wolves win by 3 in a 25-point comeback, which ties the franchise record for, the size of a comeback. So absolutely spectacular win of the year. I should have called it our feature presentation. I guess I'll call it now. Feature presentation.
And now, our feature presentation.
Sorry about that. A little late on the trigger with that one, but obviously my mind's all over the place. Great comeback. The positives and negatives, obviously the sad news that I opened the show with. And then this being a fun, entertaining game and the frustration of losing close games the rest of this week. Houston and OKC, respectively, before this great comeback. And then the LA game. Wolves fall down. They were getting their butts kicked. Luka Doncic and LeBron James, they're already posting memes on Facebook and stuff, where it's a question, which duo is better, Michael and Scotty or, Luka and LeBron? And I'm like, okay, please. I wrote, Luka and LeBron have done literally nothing. That's what I wrote. Do I even have to answer the question? They've done literally nothing. The team is winning games, but they haven't won. They haven't won a championship. You're about 6 titles behind here, guys. Let's slow down. And LeBron is 40. So I don't think he's going to play long enough to get 6 championships with Luka Doncic. Okay, guys, can we settle down a little bit? Just like this Patrick Mahomes GOAT nonsense. He's got 3 Super Bowls. He's already lost 2. Tom Brady lost 3 by the skin of his teeth. It was ridiculous. Mahomes has been blown out twice in the Super Bowl. And let's see, Brady, AFC Championship game. Who won that one? Brady beat Mahomes in that Super Bowl. Brady beat Mahomes in that. I'm sorry, it's not a conversation right now. If Mahomes gets there, good for him. But he has not done that yet. I don't like all this, always the newer guy is the best. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. might look better doing it at times because it's a different era and it's HD and look at those muscles. LeBron James looks like he could run over a truck. He could pick up a truck and throw it. Yeah, okay, fine. Go ahead and do that then. Luka hit a circus shot. It was annoying. It made me mad. It was the only 3-pointer he made, 1 of 9. Again, Michael and Scotty, I don't know. Luka Doncic's career is probably going to be more decorated than Scottie Pippen and just as an individual. But again, on the team and all that, in the rings, he's never going to catch Scottie Pippen. It's not happening. And LeBron, he's not going to play with LeBron James long enough to establish much. They might win one. You never know. Put it this way: if there's certain other team in California who is several hundred miles north of them that also acquired a big name player who's the biggest jackass in the NBA. And then the other one who chews on his, mouth guard all day, who's the second biggest or tied for the biggest jackass in the NBA. regardless of what you think of. I'm not a fan, by the way. And they're on some kind of win streak lately. Oh my God! Oh, they're 6-1 with Jimmy Butler. Yeah, enjoy your sugar high. You're not gonna win. You're not gonna win. You're not. It's not happening. And again, put it this way: if it was Lakers versus Warriors, go Lakers, big time. Pull out the brooms. So, if that's the case, the good news there, again, it's definitely not going to last because they're in their mid-30s. The two stars there, where Luka here is his mid-20s, and LeBron is 40. So it is what it is. It's kind of eventually a passing of the torch. And it's the Lakers. You know, you get Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you steal players away from other teams, and occasionally you might make the greatest draft pick ever, like Kobe. You know, was he like 17th overall? Oh, no, that was a trade too, but still, yeah. I mean, I think Jerry West had a better eye for Kobe than maybe the Charlotte GM at the time, because he was willing to trade him away for a very good player named Vlade Divac, but he was already in his 30s, wasn't he? So, Vlade. Yes. But Jerry West, you could say, is the best GM that ever lived. You know, God rest his soul. Yeah, they're all wearing number 44 this year for a reason, because obviously he passed away recently. Yeah. It is what it is. So much death. Ugh. But, I mean, sometimes people get old too, though. Old and then sicknesses and all that. So it's like, what can you do, you know? It's like, what can you do? Like, cherish. Especially, like younger people, 30s, 40s. You know, or sudden things come up like that. You know, like they say, cherish your friends as much as possible. Like, damn it. Like, you know, like you feel like you're not as... You're like somebody passes away and you just feel like... you just weren't around them enough. You didn't talk to them enough, and now it's too late. You know, it sucks. Believe me, you know, believe me. Just leave that where that is. You just feel. I swear, you always feel that, because you know, it's never enough. You know, it's sad. It's very sad. And this game, obviously, a frustrating finish. I don't know, how do I keep transitioning back? I don't know. And it's not about me at all, by the way. Not even close. Anthony Edwards did make half of his shots. Hey, he made half of his shots, but he only played 26 minutes. Why is that? Double technical foul, ejected. He is now at 16, and he will be suspended for tomorrow's game in this back-to-back, or today's game, in this back-to-back. Tomorrow at the time. Jalen Clark remaining in the starting lineup. Naz Reid made one basket. What the heck happened to Naz? Why did Naz Reid stink so bad this week? What the hell? Dang it. I mean, he looks good doing it, but shoot, he shot terribly. What the heck? The whole week, Naz Reid shot like 30%. He shot 10% in this game. 10. Who's the Lakers center again? Is it Anthony? No, it's not. Jackson Hayes? Who? I don't get it. Like, is Jackson Hayes' defense that good? Maybe Vince can help me on that one. I know Jared Vanderbilt's a good defender, but it's a miracle he's even playing. He's hurt. You know, I was used to get frustrated. God, I loved Jared Vanderbilt when he was here. You know, I called him like the worm, what did I call him? He was like the new worm, I can't remember, the junior worm or something, because he played kind of a Rodman style game. Man, he was at minus 17. As the Wolves did have a great run in this game, but it came up short. You know, like, it's just, yeah, typical Minnesota phrase. They did this and they did that, but they came up short. Or flush this one out. They got blown to smithereens. You know, that kind of thing. So it's either flush this one out because they got blown to smithereens, or, oh, they just came up short. You know, classic Minnesota phrase. And I know there goes some more followers, right? People, yeah. That's why, you know, because I'm not a cheerleader. I never will be. I'm just not. I'm not wearing any face paint. I haven't worn a jersey in years. And I don't think you're a dork for wearing them. I'm not going to be condescending like that. Yet at the same time, I don't anymore. It's kind of, you just grow out of it, I guess. Some of us do, some don't. Partially, I'm always hot, so it's like I get uncomfortable wearing like double layers. Like, how do basketball players wear a t-shirt underneath their jersey? I don't understand how they do that. Don't you get hot? I don't know. Even though I'm pretty sure the court temperature is lower for a reason, and man, I remember being down like low. Like the only time I had a seat that was much lower, I was like, whoa, it's a lot chillier down here. But that's a good thing though, right? You don't want guys like getting cramps and passing out. Anyhow, I have babbled way too much. LeBron James, 11 of 21, 33 points. Good for him. Doncic with 13 rebounds. LeBron with 17. That is epic. I mean, that's 30 rebounds. Simple math, right? 30 rebounds between two guys. You don't expect that. This isn't David Robinson and Tim Duncan. This is Doncic and LeBron. It's at 30 rebounds. So I'm impressed with that. I am. Doncic shot like Anthony Edwards all week, and Naz Reid. What's wrong with you guys? What happened? But yeah, the Lakers bench struggled. That's for sure. That's why all of them are minus this and minus that. Man, 1 of 6 for Gabe Vincent. But I don't know. At the end of the day, the starters were kind of blowing our starters out for an extended period, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. Terrence Shannon Jr. was freaking awesome, and it definitely helped with Anthony Edwards out. But even when he wasn't out, Terrence Shannon Jr. was awesome the whole game with 25 points, 9 of 15 from the floor. 25 points. This is Terrence Shannon Jr. Oh, and who's this white guy? Numbers. Oh, that's Dante DiVincenzo. Oh, yeah. That's kind of what it was like last night. Dante DiVincenzo returned. And it was like, that kind of went under the radar a little bit. He did have 6 assists in the game, those transitions assists when the Wolves were on runs. That's why Dante DiVincenzo was a plus 15, by far the best on the team. Well, second best is 11 by Terrence Shannon. Everybody else is, like ground level or way underground, like Mike Conley, minus 17. Minus 17. Oof. Ouch. Versus a plus 15. That's a big difference right there. Another math. That's a 32-point difference right there. That's insane. Absolutely nuts. Rob Dillingham relegated to less than 12 minutes. 2 of 5 from the floor. 4 points. Dang it. I know he's still in his teens, but man, I hope you're going to get more out of your 8th overall pick pretty soon here. Going into next season. I hope he is a completely different player next year. If he's still raw like this, oh boy, Timberwolves also. So this is the other news, and the Timberwolves what do they say? Converted Jalen Clark's contract to NBA. So Jalen Clark has now signed a 2-year, I believe it's minimum contract, but with the NBA, one-way NBA contract. So congratulations, Jalen Clark, officially being 100% NBA player, and he deserves to be. Also, acquisition. This is a 2-way type of deal. So apparently, if the contract stays how it is right now, Bones Highland has been acquired, but it's a 2-way type of deal. So if if and when the Timberwolves make the postseason, Bones Highland would not be eligible under his current status for the postseason. But if there's like an injury and then you activate him, you make him like you sign him for the rest of the year as an NBA one-way guy, then Bones Highland is playoff eligible. So Bones Highland has had pretty good numbers throughout his career. I'm actually a pretty good fan of his. I don't think he's bad at all. I don't know why he's a free agent, honestly. I think it's kind of weird. But, I mean, he's had good numbers. I know he's inconsistent. He's had his ups and downs. He's pretty good. But it's a 2-way deal, meaning like potentially Iowa and all that. I think he's opening up in Iowa, which is kind of weird. Him being Bones Highland, not island. He's not an island. That'd be a weird island. Bones Island. Ooh, haunted. Obviously opened his career with Denver. Wound up being, he was draft picked by Mr. Tim Conley, the general manager or president of basketball operations, of the Denver Nuggets. First round, 26th overall pick in 2021, a year after a guy named Anthony Edwards, who's about the same age, coming from Wilmington, Delaware. Cool. Well, kind of cool anyway. Played with the Clippers recently, only 20 games this year. But everywhere he's gone, he's pretty much been double-digit points, except for the last 2 years here with the Clippers. But I know I'm getting all over the place here. But the Denver Nuggets, 10.1, 11.8, 12.1. One of those was like a multi-team type of thing. Yeah, Denver and the Clippers. Yeah. So except for 23-24 down to 6.9 and only 37 games. What the heck? And only 20 games this year with the Clippers, but 7.2. So the offense is there, and he's a capable point guard, a bit of a spark plug. 44.7 from 2-point land, basically. And 3-point range, 36.4 throughout his career. That's not too bad. So with Denver, he was about 37% from 3-point range. So there's something there. And he's like, about a 20-minute guy, 19-minute, 15 minutes. So he's definitely a rotational type of guy. And it could be the frustration with how things are going with Rob Dillingham, partially. So, but familiarity with Bones Highland and such. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. Wolves were talking about him years ago, signing him in the offseason or trading for him, but in like the last 2 years or so. But now he's with the Minnesota Timberwolves, at least for now, and we'll see what happens. Apparently his real name is Nashawn Lee, but also known as Bones Highland. So Nashawn Lee Bones, welcome to the Minnesota Timberwolves, without a doubt. So with that, man, this is a long first segment, but do you blame me? The Lone Wolf Award for this episode is going to be Jade McDaniels. He's going to bring in another one. The Johnny Flynn Memorial, it might go to Anthony Edwards for just being out of control shooting and flipping out at the refs too much and getting suspended, that kind of stuff. Naz Reid also shot terribly, generally speaking, but still played a good basketball game. Still played a good game out there, though. Again, he's been prone to technicals as well. But getting ejected and suspended, that's kind of the final straw. Even though he finally shot like over, he finally shot like 50% in a game, like over 40% if anything, which is what kind of week it's been for Anthony Edwards. It's been a sucky week, to say the least. So he is going to bring home the Johnny Flynn Memorial, and he will be eating popcorn in the next game. Well, maybe. That's kind of what we call that when players are on the bench or whatever, or, sitting out for the game for whatever reason because they, didn't get to play because they haven't been good or something. Or get suspended. Thank you very much. With that said, we'll take a quick break and hopefully quickly get into the next 4 games. Are you looking for a really nice Timberwolves-related Facebook page out there with cool fans and a wonderful host? Well, look no further than Wolfpack from Flip to Finch, hosted by Scott Doherty. He does a great job. Scott Doherty's an awesome guy, and the fan base on there, obviously passionate about the Wolves, but also respectful of other people's opinions regarding the team. Check out the page. It's awesome. Wolfpack from Flip to Finch. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion. Time to jump into the previews, if humanly possible. Not sure it is possible at this point. No, we're going to have to do our best here. Upcoming game with the Utah Jazz with no Anthony Edwards. That's why one of the main reasons he's getting that Johnny Flynn Memorial. 14-44 in the season. The Wolves are 32-28. Just wallowing around in mediocrity still. Jesse Edwards ankle, end of February. Rudy Gobert back. And Anthony Edwards suspension. But Dante DiVincenzo has returned. So good for him. The Wolves and Jazz are tied at 18th in the league in points. What an honor. Great honor. Minnesota's 15th in rebounds. Utah 6th. Field goal percentage, Minnesota 18th. Jazz 19th. Three-point percentage, Wolves 6th. Feels like it should be 60th with the way Anthony's been shooting. 17th. Assists, Wolves 19th. Jazz 18th. Turnovers, the Wolves 19th. The Jazz are the worst in the league, 30th. Assist to turnover ratio, Wolves are 20th. The Jazz are 27th. Block shots, Wolves are 16th. Jazz are 19th. Steals per game, Wolves are 20th. And the Jazz are 30th. So they get the most turnovers and they do not get the ball back. So one of the main reasons why they are not good. The Wolves crushed the Jazz earlier this year on January 30th, 138-113. We have 3 more games with the Jazz, so hopefully that's 3 more wins. This is another one in Salt Lake City, Utah. Next game will be March 16th in Target Center at 6 p.m. Sunday. And another Sunday game on April 13th at 2:30. Matinee affair. Will probably be beautiful outside, at least we hope. Jazz 1-4 in their last 5, only beating the Houston Rockets. Actually a pretty good win there, but getting obliterated by Oklahoma City along the way and losing a couple of close ones elsewhere. Good for them. Lauri Markkanen putting up the big numbers, but unfortunately not winning a lot of games. Well, even his numbers aren't that hot this year. 19.3, 6 rebounds. You know what I mean? It's not that great. No, he's not there anymore, is he? Colin Sexton, 18.3 and 4.1 assists. Walker Kessler with 12 rebounds a game. He's got that going for him. 2.3 blocks. It's hard to believe they're such a bad shot block team, but they only have one guy blocking shots. Timberwolves, I think, still win this game. I like the way the Wolves play without Anthony Edwards. More minutes for Terrence Shannon Jr., I got to think, and of course, Donnie DiVincenzo. I hope he doesn't hog all of the minutes. Got to get Terrence Shannon Jr. out there, and he deserves to play. He has shown he deserves to play. Timberwolves win, and Terrence Shannon Jr. is going to lead the Wolves in back-to-back games in scoring. Over 20 points, we'll say. 20, 23, 24, 25 again. For Terrence Shannon Jr., the Wolves will win the basketball game. Final score of 122 to 112. Wolves win by 10. Terrence Shannon Jr. leads the Wolves in scoring. Next game, Anthony Edwards returns, I hope, at Phoenix. And then we host the Philadelphia 76ers in a back-to-back playing the Charlotte Hornets. You have to go to Charlotte, North Carolina next day, Tuesday to Wednesday. And then we play against the Miami Heat with Andrew Wiggins next Friday. But we'll be talking about that then. Just kidding. Phoenix Suns, 27-32. What the heck is going on there? Bradley Beal, calf. This is the injury report. Monte Morris, sounds like a familiar name to me, back. And Cody Martin, abdomen, which must be painful, I'm sure. It obviously can be. 12th in points, this is Phoenix. 12th in points, 25th in rebounds, 10th in field goal percentage, and a rare mention of free throw percentage. 3rd in the league, that's impressive. 4th in three-point percentage, 10th in assists, 13th in turnovers, 8th in assist-to-turnover ratio, 9th in blocks, and 27th in steals. The Wolves are beating the Suns, so the winning streak against Phoenix continues. After they kicked our ass late last season and dropped us down to the 3rd seed from number 1 or number 2, the Wolves swept them in 4 games, beat the crap out of the Suns, except for the 4th game. It was pretty tight because Devin Booker had like 50 points. It was crazy. But the Wolves weathered the storm and now have won 6 consecutive games over the Phoenix Suns. Now beating them by 3 points in an epic battle, 120-117 on November the 17th. And Wednesday the 29th, the Wolves win in Phoenix, 121-113. Can the Wolves' winning streak versus the Phoenix Suns continue? Wouldn't that be great? I'd like to believe it can. Things are kind of toxic there. The brothers that own the Phoenix Suns, the brother that was going to try to purchase them, supposedly, the Minnesota Twins locally, has bowed out and is more interested in becoming a majority owner with the Chicago White Sox, because Jerry Reinsdorf is getting way up there in years now. He's in his mid-80s, if I remember correctly. So he's getting way up there. I believe he had just turned 80 when they did that Last Dance show. That Last Dance documentary that went on and on in 2020. That was an absolute pleasure to watch. Jerry Reinsdorf, who'd been kind of the king of the White Sox and the Bulls, might be moving on. Phoenix has been awful. They've lost 3 in a row. They beat the Bulls of all teams. Revenge, right? The 93 Bulls, yep. 121-117. That's it. Otherwise, losing to the Spurs, who Wemby's out for the year with blood clots in the shoulder. So no more Wemby, apparently. Interesting. That they're still playing fairly well, believe it or not. They do have Fox and Chris Paul. Darren Fox. Toronto, they lost to Toronto. Yuck. 127-109. Memphis, 151-148. That's a pretty good game. New Orleans, 124-116. Sorry for babbling there. What's going on with these guys? Kevin Durant, the future Timberwolf, according to some, 27 points a game. Still absolutely fantastic. 6 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 1 steal. Devin Booker, 26.4 a game. 34.5% from downtown. Kevin Durant's at about 40. Bradley Beal's also at 40. But that just hasn't worked. The Bradley Beal move was kind of stupid. They should have just kept Chris Paul. I don't know. Why did they get rid of Chris Paul? That was stupid. Like, that's just one of those moves that make no sense. Stupid. Devin Booker about 7 assists. Tyus Jones about 6 assists. Tyus Jones is the main point guard in Phoenix, but I don't know. It's like 10 points, 6 assists. Like, you know what I mean? God bless him. Apple Valley's finest and all of that. You know, Apple Valley, Minnesota. Yeah. Yes, he's from Minnesota. If you didn't know, I'm sure you did. That's not, I don't know. You're not going to win a championship for the guy averaging 10.5 points and 6 assists. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. He's a factor. He can help, but he's not that good. Good player, but not that good. You know, he's not a starting point guard in this league, in my opinion. He's not. He's not. I'm sorry. I know I just offended people from Apple Valley, but sorry, I'm being honest with you. So, with the way things are going, the Wolves win this game too. So it's just, if this stupid team could be more stupid, consistent, we might win some more stupid games and move up in the stupid standings. You get the theme I'm going with here. But yeah, stop screwing around and losing games. Stop effing losing. I know it's that simple. It's not that simple, but I mean, it's like Anthony Edwards telling that to Karl Anthony Towns. That's where I'm getting it from. Quit bleeping fouling. Again, easier said than done. I mean, you're playing defense and, there's some movement and things happen and, how players initiate contact and you get the foul called, which is obnoxious, but that's part of the game. I freaking hate it, but that's how the game is played, People initiate contact and you get the foul. It's annoying. But, yeah, again, easier said than done. Quit bleeping losing, too. Wolves will beat the Phoenix Suns. I mean, the Wolves have a chance to go on a winning streak here, and they really need to. Philadelphia is awful, even though they're kind of hanging around. I don't know how, but they are. They're awful. They're 18 games under 500. Joel Embiid, I don't know what planet he's on half the time. Whatever. So, the Wolves, this is probably the most losable game, the Phoenix game. Of course, Philadelphia and Charlotte. Charlotte's always a trap. We all know how that can go. Wolves will beat the Phoenix Suns. Final score, 1 something. I don't even know anymore. It'll be a close one. I think it goes to OT. 128 to 127. Wolves win by a point. Anthony Edwards with 40 in that one. Might take 38 shots to get there, but he'll get 40 points. Tuesday, Philadelphia, 70 suckers. And they are suckers, all right. 18 games under 500. 26th in points. The worst rebounding team in the league with Joel Embiid. Really? Because he plays 5 games a year. 22nd in field goal percentage, 26th in three-point percentage, 29th in assists, 6th in turnovers. Well, they do one thing good, and they get their 4th in steals. Good for them. Otherwise, 28th in blocks, 20th in assist-to-turnover ratio. Tyrese Maxey, the son of Marlon Maxey, former Timberwolves pick years ago, who was athletic but couldn't do much else. A very athletic player, but it was kind of a mess. 27.2 a game for the Suckers. I know. 6 assists. Joel Embiid has played in 19 games. 19. 24 points a game. Only 8.2 rebounds. What's wrong with this guy? I don't know. Paul George, another one, we're just not winning or whatever. I forget what he said recently. Yeah, well, you're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. 16.4. I'm sure the Oklahoma City Thunder love you very much because of all the picks you got. I'm sure the Clippers hate you. Not that I'm encouraging hatred, but it's still annoying, I'm sure. Kelly Oubre Jr., that guy used to drive you crazy. I think with Charlotte, right? Or is it with the Spurs? Yeah, that guy's a pain. 14.8 a game. Very winnable game for the Wolves. The Sixers have lost all of their last 5. A few close ones, but they still lost them, nonetheless. I think it'll be one of those weird back-and-forth type games. You're going to have Naz Reid lead the Wolves in scoring in this one with 28. Naz Reid has 28 points in this one. I think he has a field day because I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of resistance in front of him. Naz Reid should have a fun performance. And again, he looks like a starting player in this league, and I hope he transitions into that role as well as he appears to be at the end of the day. So, the Wolves will win the basketball game. Final score along the likes of 117 to 100. 117-105. Wolves win by 12. Naz Reid will lead the Wolves in scoring in this one. And then the possible trap game, the Charlotte Hornets. I might have the Wolves winning all 4 of these games. And why not, damn it? They should. I think, I forgot to look at the Sixers injuries. Yeah, imagine who might be on that. Can't imagine. No. Joel Embiid? Yep, with a knee, apparently. And February 23rd, Gershon. What is going on? Gershon, I guess. Yabusele. Eyes. Ugh. Ouch. February 24th. I'm not making fun of that. Eric Gordon, he must be closer to 40 by now. Wrist injury as of Feb 10. And I said all the other stuff. So keep moving. Charlotte Hornets. Trap alert. How many? Did the Wolves get swept by these guys last year? But we basically never win in Charlotte. Basically never. Trap 14 and 44. Trap alert. And LaMelo Ball always plays extremely well against the Timberwolves because we passed on him in the draft. How dare we? We're just awful people. 30th in field goal percentage. The Wolves did spank this team earlier in the season, from what I remember correctly. We absolutely, 114-93 in target center. That was great. Charlotte's lost all of their last 5 as well. And they've been, oh my God, 141 to 88 versus Portland. Next game, 130 to 88 versus Sacramento. Next game, that stupid Golden State, 128 to 92. Next game, 103 to 96. So I'm going over those because you can't believe it. They've been getting absolutely hammered. It has potential for a trap game. Don't take this one off, please. Guys, show up to play. Terrence Shannon Jr. with 20 points in the game for the Timberwolves. I think it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be guys up all over the place. You might even see Luka Garza lead the team in scoring. I'd like to believe the Wolves take a commanding lead and sit a lot of guys out because you just hope that. But don't take the night off, that type of thing. Don't let this thing be close because the Hornets will win. The Hornets will win. If this is a close game, the Hornets are going to probably win because the momentum. They'll be like, we're going to beat you guys. We're going to end this losing streak, blankety blank. Believe me, the Hornets will win this game if the Wolves bleep around. So it's just a fact. LaMelo Ball is not on the injury list. Congratulations, LaMelo. Yusuf Nurkic, who's been all over the place lately, illness. Wendell Moore Jr., former Timberwolf, right? Concussion, that sucks. And Tajane Saloon, ankle. These are all right here recently. Feb 27, and Feb 25. Charlotte is 28th in points, 5th in rebounds, 30th in field goal percentage, worst in the league. 28th in three-point percentage, 26th in assists, 24th in turnovers, 27th in assists to turnover, 23rd in block shots, and 14th in steals. This is, again, the finale where the Wolves potentially and should sweep this club and have a 4-game win streak, if I'm thinking correctly. LaMelo Ball, who's played in about 2/3 or 3/5 of the games, only 33.3 from downtown, yet he attempts almost 12 a game. That's garbage. That's garbage. It's garbage. 26.3 points, 7 assists. Brandon Miller, 27 games. That's it. But 21 points, but 27 games. Miles Bridges, 20 points and 8 rebounds. That's good. Yeah, they do have good rebounders. Mark Williams, who could not go to the Lakers because he failed the physical. 10 rebounds a game, 15 points. But he's just, he can't stay healthy, the son of a gun. Otherwise, they might have something there. Josh Okogie, 7 games on the season. Former Timberwolves, 10 points. Cool. Wouldn't be cool to see Josh Okogie in a Charlotte uniform. Charlotte has some of the best. I think they're like among the best in the league with the uniforms and everything and the cool name. It's a damn shame that they're just awful. It is. Why can't they be good? Damn it! Why can't they be like a team that's, 7th, 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th seed in the Western Conference or Eastern Conference? Pardon me. Why can't they be? I miss the old Hornets, the old Charlotte Hornets, where they would be like hovering around and they might even knock somebody out in the first round, make things interesting. It's too bad. Like many years ago, I had a weird dream where the Hornets, it was like the old Hornets. They'd moved to New Orleans already, but it was the Charlotte Hornets again. They were the Charlotte Hornets again, the real Charlotte Hornets. I believe Jamal Mashburn was on that team, which he was, yeah. And they beat which he was once upon a time. And they won the NBA championship. I forget if they beat the Lakers. I can't remember who it was, but they won the NBA title. I'm like, the Charlotte Hornets won the NBA championship? Wow, that's weird. It was kind of cool, and I woke up. And here we are. 14 and 44. But this was like 10 years ago or even longer. I think it might have been like 15 years ago. It was a while back. Like the Charlotte Hornets were they were the Charlotte Hornets again. And it was the original, and they won the title. Wow. Yeah, I'd love to see this team be competitive, but man, they're just not. Great uniforms, great basketball history in North Carolina, but man, awful. At least they're not the Bobcats. It's not. It wasn't that bad of a name, but the Charlotte Hornets is a better name. Thank you, Michael Jordan. It's the best thing he ever did as an executive of an NBA franchise is bringing the Charlotte Hornets back. That's it. Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? As a executive. Greatest player ever, but one of the worst executives ever, unfortunately. But helped him become a billionaire along with his Air Jordan product, I'm sure. Wolves will beat the Hornets in I got to think, a comfortable victory. Something along the lines of 122 to 122 to 95. Wolves win comfortably. And somebody like, again, Terrence Shannon might get 20 points, something like that. I keep mentioning his name. It might end up being like, who am I thinking? Maybe even Jane McDaniels, like 18 to 20. It'll be something along those lines. Doesn't his brother still play there, or is he somewhere else now? Because I know there's Jalen McDaniels. He was on the Hornets for a while. No, I don't see him anymore. Yeah, the Hornets have been moving players all over the place because they suck. I hate saying it. I wish they didn't. Jalen McDaniels. Let's see where he is real quick, just to feed my curiosity. There's the image of him on the Hornets as I click on the button. Where is he? Where is he? He is on the Washington Wizards. Oh, how exciting. Otherwise, he's been all over the last couple of years. Philadelphia, Toronto, and now the Washington Wizards. And only 3 games this year. What happened? Come on, Jalen. You were a decent player. I think he's a slightly older brother, right? Yeah, a couple years older. He's 27. Federal Way, Washington. Ooh. Well, it's as federal as it gets. Yep. Anyway, other than that, the Wolves will have a 4-game win streak. I don't think I've done that in a while, maybe ever. But the Wolves will win 4 in a row because they need to win these games. Don't be surprised if they lose one, just because it's just the way it is. It's pro sports and stupid things happen. But I think the Wolves do get the sweep, and as far as I'm concerned. It sounds a little optimistic, but they need to win these games. They need to do that. They need to at least go 3-1 at the end of the day. With that, we'll take a quick break, come back, and see some more fan interaction. And we are back here on Timberwolves Explosion, segment number 3. It's probably going to be pretty short, but one thing as well, I felt weird this whole show. Not only because, obviously really sad news and all that, but what was missing? Lemon and tomato juice. I forgot the lemon and the tomato juice. Because I kind of started a little bit later and was distracted. I don't know. Doggone it. Well, and again, saluting to Reece Pedretti. And, honestly, all of you. This is a toast to all of you. The lemon and tomato juice. Believe me, that's from the heart. Believe me, because I love lemon and tomato juice. So it's like telling you how much I'm saluting you. And it's a staple on this show. Pardon me. Yes, and I posted that the toast again. Like I said, God bless you. To Reece Pedretti, Vince Germano at Vinrock44 says, absolute legend of a bloke. Rest easy, Pumps. You put up a hell of a fight. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Thank you so much, Vince. That's, absolutely awesome. And, again, thank you again so much. Thank you so much. Reece Pedretti coming again out of Brisbane, Australia. What is Bones Island talking about here? Boom him on CB. Congrats on signing to the Timberwolves. People are responding to him. What did they say? What's Dylan telling him to STFU for? What the? Come on, man. Okay, he's probably talking about the Wolves game. Anyhow, yeah, I'm going crazy. I apologize. I'm just kind of getting confused here. Doggone it. Clicking on all the wrong things here. But, nope, and fan interaction a bit short this week, but understandable. I'll check the Instagram quick as well. Of course, it's on the wrong one because I had something else up. That figures. But it's Timberwolves _explosion for that one. Yes, Timberwolves _explosion for the Instagram. Please do join that. The TikTok is paladino.live, where all the podcasts hang out there, because it's Paladino Live Productions, basically. So, yeah. So join that if you could. What am I looking at here? All kinds of nonsense. No responses, unfortunately, to anything. Kind of quiet, but a couple likes on some things, but that's how it is. Feel free to interact at any of these social media conglomerates. Facebook.com/Timberwolves Explosion. Obviously had that up. So yeah, lots of likes and loves when it came to the toast to Reece Pedretti. I really appreciate you so much. So with that said, I think that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless all of you. And hopefully the Timberwolves continue this, or can continue. Hopefully the Timberwolves can get on a 4-game win streak here. Wouldn't that be nice? And once again, final thing, I should have said this much earlier. I am dedicating the rest of the season to Reece Pedretti. There's no doubt about that. So no doubt about that. Dedicating the rest of the season to Reece Pedretti, Pumpa, Pumps, as Vince Germano would call him, as Vince would call him, Pumps. Yep, I'm dedicating the rest of the season to him, without a doubt. So, with that said, we will end this show with these words. God bless you, Reece Pedretti.